movie that made a lot for a monkey movie in the first movie, does it? And they've obviously changed directors, writers, the score, all that stuff is different. So why are we going to throw fancy editing at this movie?
And I think that's exactly it. And I'm not trying to counter your comment, Richard, but I mean, you go back to Citizen Kane, and Citizen Kane has the famous edit of the clapping in the alleyway that then becomes the huge roar of the crowd when he's at a campaign rally. So those ideas of cross-cutting audio have been there, but I think Sean, I think you nailed it, because what they're probably getting very artistic, and they're also trying to do this quickly, and they're already thinking, wow, we've done a pretty good job, and I don't think you need it. It's just, I think it would have been an interesting choice.
Considering what might be coming up in the future minutes, I don't think they were worried about being sophisticated.
No. But I do get...
I mean, minutes of this week. I haven't seen anything past this week. I promise.
So after we had this moment of her with the silent scream, we do get what is my favorite shot of the film up to this point, which is her on the almost like Salt Lake bed.
Just all of a sudden the wall is
just
gone.
alone. And it even suddenly the sand looks different than it did in the previous shots. It's very barren. There's no vegetation around anywhere. She is simply alone. It's a beautiful shot. And it completely conveys what we need to know about what's happened to Nova before she's come to Brent.
And what we were talking about last week of what the heck is going on, where'd this wall come from, why is everything happening, why is everything different? Well, it hasn't been different. Something's been going on, but she's been on this plane the whole time.
Something's been going on that affected their perception of what was real.
Reality, yeah.
But now she's alone. Now she has nowhere to go, and then we go back to Brent.
What if...
I thought it was an interesting choice, too, when we talk about this particular shot, that she shot from the back. She's actually looking at what would have been the wall, as opposed to her just kind of there looking around. It's actually her by herself looking at nothing.
I think if they'd gone in for the close-up shot to get her reaction, I think you would have killed the moment, because right now there's complete...
You're showing how barren it is, how wide open it is.
How desperate this moment is, that she is a mute person with limited understanding of anything, and suddenly the one person she's been clinging to has vanished, and she's alone in nowhere.
What if the rest of these movies were just her doubting whether anything was real because all this f***ed up shit she just saw? Like, she meets another guy from outer space, and I'm going to believe that. And then I go back to a city with more apes in it. Oh, yeah, I'm going to believe this crap. Okay, when's this all going to disappear? I'm going to be back on that damn plane again. Ah! 3 years of my life, and it's happened in one day.
She's gonna regret pulling back the tinfoil on that dog tag to eat chocolate inside.
It becomes One Flew Over the Planet, the apes.
So when we cut back and he says this tag, and it kind of brings her back in this moment, they actually have a really, really nice shot of her kind of looking down at him again. Her hair is kind of even more messed up, and she just looks distraught, like she's coming fresh from that moment of remembering things. And I thought that was actually a really, really nice shot of her.
I agree.
Yeah.
She is so lost in all of this. What I like about that previous shot of her alone is it now explains why she's almost being so blank-faced to Brent. She feels so incredibly lost that even his words, which she's never heard someone other than Taylor speak, she's just like befuddled by the entire thing. However, and I said this to you guys, Brent, this is sign language for dummies. Because he doesn't, if I'm talking to you and I know that you don't understand me, and if I say something as simple as this, where did Taylor go? Can you take me to Taylor? I would use my hands and say, where did Taylor go? As I point to the horizon, and I'd say, I'd point at you, take me to Taylor, and point to the direction. All he does is simply he
just
does
grasps the tag.
He grasps the tag
desperately.
And kind of goes,
okay, all right, but he does ask, look, is there someone who can talk? So maybe for a second he's thinking that maybe she understands him.
She just can't talk,
and she just can't talk.
Yeah.
He just happened to come across.
Maybe she is
savage woman on a horse with Taylor's dog tag.
A really hot savage woman.
Yeah.
You have to add that in.
With the bra.
Okay, all right, cool.
You have to think he came from Taylor's planet. He's sitting there going, "Oh yeah, I could like this place."
Let me ask you this, because we haven't brought this up.
Lots of women.
Think we have.
But never love.
So as a kid watching this, Nova was not the thing that caught my attention in this movie. Was Nova something that caught your attention as a little kid watching Planet of the Apes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. That was my question.
I remember thinking early on that she was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I've even said this to y'all that when I had my daughter watch this, she's only seen the first 2, but she loved Nova. There's something about the innocence of her, and she's so pretty, and I loved her. I think Nova is that safe place for all of us in the craziness of this world that we can kind of go, oh, she's safe, and we want to take care of her. And I think there was some of that too. Yes, I was a little boy, and I was looking at a pretty woman, but
Right.
I liked Nova. I liked Nova a whole lot. And that little
I'm just
bikini
watching a
she was
minute at a
wearing.
time. She's stupid as hell.
By today's aesthetics, we're like, that's a
Yeah,
hot
I mean,
woman.
she
Yeah.
is. She is not passing the Bechdel test. No.
Does she need to?
There have been 2 females in this movie, and all they've done, one has only talked about men, and the other one has not spoken.
The other one cannot even talk.
Yeah.
Wow.
Keep it that.
Put
keep
them
it
together,
that way.
you might have one real person.
So this minute kind of ends with him kind of, he's doing, it's a lot of, the last part of this minute is a lot of him kind of shot from him looking down, or shot
From her
perspective looking down
looking
at
down,
him as he's kind of moving his fingers and waving around and saying, someone who can talk this. You're right, it's sign language for dummies. It really doesn't
It doesn't work.
No.
do anything. And finally he does this thing where he kind of points.
Mm-hmm.
I found this pointing
I
at
did
her
too.
so confusing to me.
Yeah.
He goes, look, and he points at her. You take me to Taylor.
The entire time pointing at her.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Well, it's much like whenever Taylor gave the dog tags, and he kept pointing at the dog tags, and it was like, I'm Taylor. And she's like, okay, these silver things are called Taylor?
I thought you were Taylor.
What the
What does Taylor mean?
And he ran his fingers along the dog
I
tags
know.
for her like that was gonna.
Like that- okay, I
Yeah,
understand.
I got it now.
Yeah, we do this.
As you were
Whoa.
showing me that shot, I do wonder, did you notice that in the shots of Brent is shot camera right to left and Taylor was shot left to right? Do you think that they purposely put
Flipped
them
them?
on flipped sides of the screen just to completely say, because they do look
they
very
do.
similar.
To
Yeah.
separate them to say this is not a flashback. I mean, we're on the other
That's
side.
fascinating. They may have the
It
pri-
just all of a sudden hit me when you're showing me that previous shot. I was like, oh.
the previous scene. Yeah, he was on one side and now Brent's on the
opposite.
other.
So again, if we've established that this is after Taylor has left her, and as far as we know, Taylor has only taken the gun. She didn't have a horse that was that well stocked when they left before. How has it gotten so well stocked? I'm assuming she's gone from leaving Taylor or Taylor disappearing to stumbling upon Brent. I'm assuming, and has not seen anybody else. When did she
Relatively quickly. We
Yeah,
assume
so-
that she's not been in the desert for 8 days.
Yeah. So when did she
But
get
then again,
more
there's
well
a disparity
supplied?
in years from the time when Taylor crashed and
we're
when
not-
Brent did.
are we
Has
going-
she been wandering this whole time? And maybe she's gone to like
she wandered
ghost
backwards
towns.
in time, though,
I
right?
might-
I mean,
yes, that's
she
true.
really did. She wandered backwards.
I
in
might
time.
have notes on that in the next minute. I don't know.
Oh, now I can't
in
wait to get the
defense
next
of the time
moment.
travel theory.
Oh my goodness! Just to comment on the minutes coming up, like we joked about the Friday curse, and this week is not a Friday curse. There's stuff that happens on Friday, so you guys want to stick around. But
You might have broken the curse with
I don't know about tomorrow.
It shifted to Tuesday.
It's shifted to Tuesday.
Well, come back anyway. We'll find a way to entertain you for Tuesday. But I think we're at the end of the minute. Did anybody else have anything they want to throw in?
No, that's
I mean,
it for me.
it really is an interesting minute. I love the aspects of, like we talked about, the intercutting, the going back and forth. We're tying together very well that Nova is our vessel that takes us from one to the other.
Yeah.
It's a great conceit,
Correct. Yeah.
and I'm excited to see where it goes. I am worried about Tuesday, but come back with us tomorrow,
Yeah.
and we'll take you through Tuesday. We'll all hold hands, and we'll make it through
We'll
Tuesday,
survive.
no matter how slow it is.
All the beers, we have all the beers in front of us to get us through.
And you know what? It's early on Monday, and if you want to have a beer before you go to work, it's okay, right? Anyway,
Yeah, this comes out at midnight. Okay, yeah.
all right, everyone. For Richard and Sean, I'm Todd. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Not everybody.
Beneath the minute of the apes. Beneath the minute of the apes. Beneath the minute of the apes.
The only good human is a dead human.